Dzień dobry, witamy na
Well,
oficjalnej
good
konferencji
afternoon, ladies and
prasowej
gentlemen. Welcome to the official press conference of the Polish national team before the game Poland-Andorra. We start with a meeting with Grzegorz Krychowiak. We would like to invite you to ask questions. He'll be to 4:45. First question. Thank you. Grzegorz, welcome. A question to you. Do you talk between one another and with the coach how to prepare yourselves for the upcoming 3 games? Because the Hungary cost us a couple of strength, then now Andorra and then Wembley. In your case, is there a chance and willingness and the power to make it 3 times 90? Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the question. Well, everyone, I think, throughout the entire season plays every 3 days, so it's absolutely not a problem for the players to be prepared well for every single meeting, and I think that it would be a lack of respect to think now about England before a very important game tomorrow. Every one of us, as I said before, is able to play every 3 days. And we do not think about England now. We are focused now on Andorra, and every one of us will be 100% prepared for this game. Mateusz Ligenza, first program, Polish Radio. Grzegorz, the game against Germany united you with the new coach, because Robert Lewandowski mentioned that back in the days you would be not able to score those goals. Then again, you only had 1 point. So what are the conclusions? Because you certainly analyzed the game against Hungary. The first question, and my second will come in a moment. Well, the future will show at the end of the day whether this 1 point is a lot or not. Certainly, we went to Budapest in order to win, in order to get 3 points, so we had a certain distaste. I think that there were very good moments in this meeting, but we lost the points, the goals, too easily. Now, when you score 3 goals on an abroad game and you do not win, this means that you would need to have a more or a better defense, and we should focus on this to make it more tight. It's not only the issue of the goalkeeper or the 4 defending players, but the entire team, meaning we need to defend better, we have better ball possession. Okay, so you'll play against England, and in the first game, England without Harry Kane had more loose game, and the game against Andorra will be a walk in the park, but still we need to score goals and have power for England. Now the question is whether a strong 45 minutes will happen and then we spare the most important players. Well, as I said a moment ago, there is no discussion now about thinking of England. We are focusing on the upcoming game. Every one of us is able to play every 3 days on a very high level, giving 100%. So there is absolutely no plan for tomorrow's meeting when it comes to what you said. Everyone is ready to give 100%. I wanted to ask you about the game against Andorra. Isn't it like this, that this is such a game where you instantly know you will have 3 points, but paradoxically those games are most difficult because it is said that, okay, you're going to have 3 points, but then it turns out that the opponent is very strong and it's not that easy. So before the first whistle. And then I'd like to ask you about your defense game. Is the defense not the biggest problem? Because in the offensive it's okay, but in the defense we are losing something, and sometimes it sucks, quite simply. Well, first of all, there is no problem. The fact that we lost in the last game 3 goals doesn't testify about anything. It's not that we have any major problems. Of course, there are issues where we should focus on more and mistakes that we did, and certainly they won't happen in future, and we will draw conclusions. Sebastian Staszewski, Interia. I have a question concerning the game in Hungary. You received a lot of criticism this season. Later on, you did not receive this criticism at all. Constructive criticism, yeah, even before you played the game, everyone knew that you would play weak. Sometimes it was accurate, very often it was not accurate at all. But when it comes to this game against Hungary, are you happy with the way you played? Not only about the second part, that we also was much better than the first one, but are you happy with your performance? Do you think that this is close to Grzegorz Krychowiak that in 2016 or 17 was really admired by us? I got used to it, actually, that before every single game you have to exclude Krychowiak from the national team and then put in someone new. He'll play 4 times better, and if Krychowiak plays better, then Krychowiak is called back from Sevilla. So I have a very calm approach. For me, it's most important for the team to win. If the team wins, I'm happy. We had a draw, and there's, of course, certain distaste, and answering your question, I'm not happy with this game. Adam Mielnik, TVN24. I wanted to ask you about Łukasz Skorupski, Mateusz Klich, and your condition, your physical condition. How do you feel? Don't you have any COVID symptoms? And did you talk to Mateusz and Łukasz? Are they isolated? I did not have an opportunity to talk to them, but everyone is aware of the situation. COVID excludes you from the upcoming games, which is obvious, and it is perceived as quite simply an injury. Of course, every one of us wears masks, and we are trying to respect the sanitary rules. So if one player gets ill, so that subsequent 6 or 8 do not get ill as well. This only confirms that the medical staff, together with Dr. Jaroszewski, really tries to do everything to help us. Hence, we respect those rules. No further questions? One question, Grzegorz, concerning what you said, that you are physically prepared to play 3 games in a row. Now, do you think that the game against Andorra, an intermediate game between Hungary and England, with a little weaker player, the team that you have to respect, considering the short time before the European Championship, is it the last moment to introduce any changes in the lineup, more advanced than a evolution or a revolution, to rebuild the team, or should we treat this game 100% as a point match and approach with the strongest lineup with an evolution of what we saw in Budapest? Looking at how from the very beginning we are training, these are 2 trainings a day where the coach wants to use as much time as possible to teach us his vision of football. I think that an attempt to try something new now would be a waste of time, or is a waste of time, especially in this period, especially 2 months before Euro. There is not that much time left, which is why the training is really, really intense. So we should continue this work that we have started, but the coach will be the one to make decisions. But I think that every single minute of the game or training or conversation should be used thinking about, at the same time, well, play as good as possible in the eliminations and be 100% ready for Euro. No further questions to Grzegorz. Thank you. Thank you, Grzesiek. And we wait for the coach. Thank you very much. See you next time. We'll wait a moment longer. I can make the answer more precise. Everyone feels well. We had the anti-gene test in the morning, and they're all negative. So we hope that the worst is behind us.
No takie, że przepisy są, które zamykają ludzi w kwarantannie. No, będziemy ich testować i zobaczymy, jak sytuacja będzie wyglądała. No, mamy nadzieję, że na przykład Mateusz Klich w poniedziałek, jak zrobimy mu test Jeśli będzie negatywny, no to poleci z nami do Anglii, ale oczywiście nie będzie brany pod uwagę do meczu, bo tydzień nie trenował, tylko pojedzie do klubu, tak. Nie, po prostu też dla niego jest to bardziej komfortowe, jeżeli poleci z nami czarterem. Jest to na pewno wygodniejsza forma. No, dokładnie tak. Przynajmniej tak długo. Ja z nim wczoraj ostatnio rozmawiałem, więc wczoraj już mówił, że jest lepiej. Jest z nami już selekcjoner
So we have the coach. Welcome, coach.
i zapraszamy do zadawania
And you
pytań.
can ask
Proszę,
your
Kacper.
questions. Kacper, first question. Kacper Sosnowski, Sport PL.
Czy plany na ten mecz z Andorą?
Hello there. Can you hear me? Yeah? Good.
That's okay? Trenerze, czy
So, coach,
plan na
the
ten
plan
mecz
for
z
the game
Andorą
against Andorra
łączy się jednocześnie z
ha-
planem na
ha-
Anglię?
is connected with the game plan against England. I mean, how do you personally would like to line up the team in the game against Andorra, knowing that 3 days later you have a difficult game against Great Britain? Can we expect, just as in Budapest, any new players? Thank you.
No, we are focused in this game. We need to be focused in this game. Also because, in my opinion, it will not be a easy game in many aspects. It's a team, of course, his national team, they have other targets, other goals than us. For example, scoring 1 goal against Poland for them, it could be a victory. They can shoot goals in that directions. Try to postpone the maximum to concede goals. It's one of the targets, also one of the goals they have. They are extremely aggressive. For that, we need to be prepared for that. To prepare in two ways. One, to have controlling emotions always from the beginning till the end, because we can see in statistics also, and what we see in the analysis, it's sometimes their opponents they get more yellows than them. For that, controlling the emotions and also playing the quicker as possible to find out spaces, because we will be difficult to find out, mainly when they have the decisions to have a low block with 2 or 3 lines, very compact to each other, don't concede space between them. For that, we need to be really quick. We need to be also with individuality decisions to push, to provoke, in sense to creating space where sometimes we don't go to find out. That we need to be quick from one side to the other one, to find out time and space to deal, instead and be 1 against 3, to be 1 against 1, where we need to provoke and we create opportunities as a crossing, as shooting from outside. It's something we need to also provide with these teams. They have a low block. Regarding the one part of your question, we started this new process of ideas 4 days ago. For that, for me, I could not think in another way to give continuity on the basis, and punctually, strategically, we made some adjusts for the game we think it goes to happen. And the adjust, it's not only about players, but also lines, space, where we think it could help us, it could suit us to win the match.
Proszę, Adrian.
Good afternoon, coach. I'm gonna speak in English, in Polish. Here I am. Mam pytanie.
I have a question, coach. A question concerning Robert Lewandowski. Will he play tomorrow from the very first minutes, or maybe Karol Świderski will play, or Arkadiusz Milik, or Krzysztof Piątek in the attack? Thank you.
Look, I'm not a coach who normally I love to say to the players first, then to everyone, also in the federation. They know also that and respect that. But only appearance of that, yes, Robert, he goes to play from the beginning.
Proszę Łukasz, bo ręka ci zdrętwieje.
Witam serdecznie, panie trenerze. W Polsce
Hello, coach. In Poland, we say that when there is a draw, there is better to have two injured than one killed player. This is a Polish saying. And we had also this situation in Budapest. But in this very case, are we not the ones that are dead after this game, don't you think? And is it not a loss of 2 points? Maybe you, coach, have a different approach to this game. Maybe it's good that we have 1 point. Second question about Michał Helik, because in Poland there was already a discussion that he's not good, that he's not worth playing, but maybe it's worth putting your money on him, like in the game against Andorra, for him to be more confident, to be a better player, and sometimes maybe those decisions are good.
Okay, I started from the last one. First of all, we have different characteristics of the players. For that, we took the decisions to have in our national team different characteristics and different players. In my point of view, like I said after the game, Elik, he don't make one mistake individually. What he could and he will improve, like the other ones, it's to decide quicker on our build-it up. But it don't was only him. And it's normally because we started just 4 days ago the process on that, so that we need to find out the lines quicker. But for one, he play first. It's normally he wants to play safe, and this it's understandable. Again, in my opinion, and this is something you guys they need to understand. And I profit. It's something also I don't do it because they are private conversations. But I think this one I need to share with you, with all of you. It was one of my conversations with Fabianski, where he said to me, you know, national team, it's from the people, not for each one of them or us. First of all, for that all Polish players, they playing for the national team. It's not to be good or not. They are involved to help and to play and to perform. Sometimes they will play, they perform outstanding. Other times they have some mistakes. But the most important thing, you know, it's all of them. They are with lots of pride, you know, to perform for the national team and to the Polish people and to win matches. And regarding the first part of your question, I feel proud, and I think the most of the Polish people he needs to feel proud. We was the team who wants to win the match. We play to win the match. We changed completely the way, the philosophy of playing in 4 days, in 2 sessions. Mainly from the beginning till the end, we was like that. In the beginning, like I said, slower than the second half. Then we accelerate, we started to understand things, we changed things, and we went with this great mentality to turn the game twice. Where, for what I listen in the dressing room from players, it never happens in their minds. For that, and in the way they play, the way they perform, of course, deserve much more. It was small situations, key situations on the game. You don't allow us that, not because we was with a team who, you know, you put us always under pressure. No, we put Hungary under pressure. We create a number of solutions. We push them. Also in our defensive transitions, in a moment we lose the ball. Mainly we made really well. We was there. Then it was small situations, especially with individuality decisions, or where the concepts individually, where I request, it's slightly different than they are used to do it. Some of them in the clubs, and some of them also in the national team before. But it's not easy to, you know, to go also above of all these things. I need to be really proud and positive, and I'm sure the most of the Polish people, they are. And I said in the beginning of my road here with you, you pay important task in all the process, and because the most of the people, the Polish, but the most of people, he loves football. The opinion they have, it's what they read and what they see, listen, special. For that, be fair, and we need to have a good energy.
Good afternoon, coach. I'm gonna speak in Polish.
Of course.
First program of Polish radio. Coach, I would like to ask you, what about the players? Were you disappointed with one of the players in the game against Hungary when it comes to tactics? Because there is not much time to start the Euro Championship, so how much chances a player that you are disappointed with did not make such a plan? And should we expect any changes in the defense? Thank you.
I'm not disappointing because I know this is natural, and you have a conscience and a subconscious. And regarding for what I spoke before, when you acquire things and you have routines, to change routines of the decisions, you need to put new things. But it's not to put once, because we experience once, you change everything. Because the habit, it's maintaining. It's the same when we go to England and drive in the left side. We will have some moments we are in our right side. Why? Because we are used to. For that, the things, it's not like that. It's not about when a player made something who cost a goal or points. I need to confrontate this player and put him apart. For that, all my decisions could be for tomorrow or in the next games. It's not about this. It's about what it will be the best for the team in the present on the game, because this is the main focus, and what it could be the near future. For that, we are building also for the European. But we are focused first in this qualification.
Sebastian, proszę.
Sebastian Staszewski, Interia. Dzień dobry, panie trenerze.
Good afternoon, coach. I'll have two questions. My first question will be the same question that Grzegorz was asked before you. The game against Andorra, considering that it's the weakest opponent out of all those three teams that we are playing against in this campaign, does it mean that this is the last moment for you to make a revolution in the lineup before the game against the UK, or do you treat this game as a 100% game only for points, and you do not imagine that you will not come out with the best possible lineup? And I only want to tell you that Grzegorz Krychowiak means or thinks that considering the short time before Euro 2021, there is no time for revolution, and Krychowiak said that we should bring the best lineup on the pitch.
It will be always the best lineup. We think, we consider it's the best to win the match. And whatever the players they will be on the pitch. If it's saying he played the new 11 players, it will not happen like that. We want to stability, especially in all the process. We go to change players, some players, yes, not all. And regarding the first question, where I told you before than our players, regarding Robert, it's because I want to pass straight away for outside and from inside. We need to win. For that, we go from the beginning, and it's a mistake if we think differently. If you think we have time to win the match, no, we will not have time to win the match. We need to start to win the match before it started, with the right mentality. And I think, for what I saw in the pre-match of Hungary, during the match in Hungary, I think we are in the good way. And I am part of this process. I'm responsible of this process, and I want to make sure it will happen. Also with some changes.
I drugie pytanie będzie bardzo proste i wystarczą mi tutaj odpowiedzi.
My second question will be very simple, and an answer yes or no will be easy. The first question, will you confirm that we will see Wojciech Szczęsny as the goalkeeper, because you said it's number one? And the second question, I will not ask you for names, yes, no. Will we see a new player, yes or no?
The last I answered already. You go to see new players. We go to make some changes. some of them, not all. And then during the game, we will see what it will happen to consider and to, in the competition, could be possible also to take other decisions. But first, I want to win, sure. And we need to start that from the beginning. Regarding Szczesny, yes, you will be on the pitch.
You say that it will be some new players or rookies who never played in the...
No, the new players, the players we have 26 players. The players we are here, they will play. All them, they are important for us.
Last question.
Dzień dobry, panie trenerze. Radek Przybysz, TVP Sport, I'm here.
TVP Sport.
W mediach pojawiła się
In the
informacja,
media,
że
there
na
is
to spotkanie
information
zaprosił pan
that
kilku
you
zawodników
invited a
niepowołanych
couple
do
of players
kadry.
which
Chciałbym
were not
zapytać, czy
called
to
to the
prawda, jacy
national
to
team to
zawodnicy?
this game, and which
I
players are
jaki
them,
cel,
and
co pan chce
what do you want to
osiągnąć
achieve
co
by
na celu
this
spotkanie?
meeting,
Takie nietypowe, powiedzmy.
an untypical meeting, because none of the head coaches did not make such a decision like you did. Thank you.
Look, behind that, first of all, the first one, it was Goralski and Bielik. For the injuries, there was and they are players where it will be in our radar. They are in our radar, and we want to care about them. And also, we need to support them and help them in these difficult moments. For that, if they could, Goralski could not come because they have a flu. Bielik, it's in England, he cannot fly, but we probably will find out a solution in May to be with them, where they can enjoy their teammates, feel they are closer also to start to play, because the process of recover it's also important. This kind of emotions, this kind of feeling. Then the other players I invite mainly because I was with very close to the decision to be with us here already in this call, and I want to have a shorter contact where we can show what we expect from them and what they can pay attention, where they can work with their coaches and on the rest of the league to improve. And if they are called for the European, they are more closer for what we are looking on these capacities.
Who are them?
Some of them.
Okay, it was the last questions. Thank you. See you at the pitch. First 15 minutes only open to media today.